So what is my client accused of doing? She's accused of saving the life of a 4-year-old. The child was abused, was frightened, withdrawn, behind in school, socially underdeveloped. It's all documented. She took him and she loved him. She raised him to be a kind, trusting, smart, and intelligent boy. That's also documented. You've all seen the reports from his teachers, his new doctors, and Grace, she wants to continue to raise him. And he wants to continue to call her his mother. But if she's convicted, that obviously won't happen. The law of necessity allowed her to take Peter because he was in immediate danger. The state had returned him to his parents twice, so she had no reason to believe that they weren't going to do it again. Miss Atchison says that she should have worked within the system. But do you know what that system is recommending today? Today. 4 years have passed. 4 years in which they could have reviewed these files, reviewed Peter's case. Now, what is the recommendation? To return Peter to his biological parents. The same people who beat him, who burned him, who broke his bones. You know, it strikes me. You're in the same situation that Grace was 4 years ago. You can do what the state tells you to do as your duty. And you can just go home and feel assured that whatever happens to that little boy is not your responsibility. Or you can do the right thing, the necessary thing. Acquit Grace Rutland so she can raise her boy.
Someone once wrote that hell is the impossibility of reason. And that's what Vietnam feels like. Pure hell. I hate it already, and I've only been here a week. The hardest thing I've ever done was go on point 3 times last week. I don't even know what I'm doing. I mean, a gook could be standing 3 feet in front of me and I wouldn't even know it. And I'm just so tired. We get up at 5 a.m., we camp all day, we hump around till about 4 or 5 p.m., we dig foxholes, we eat, we do all-night ambushes or 3-man listening posts in the jungle. In the jungle, I'm still having nightmares about what I saw in the jungle. One of my fellow soldiers had went out, and he would use the bathroom, and he was gone just a little bit too long, so we went out to look for him. And when we found him, I'm sorry, his body was just cut in half and his guts were hanging out of his body. I'm still having nightmares about that. And it's scary because I'm a new guy, and no one cares about the new guy. I mean, they don't even want to know my name. The unwritten rule is that a new guy's life isn't worth much because he hasn't put his time in yet. And they say, if you're going to get killed now, you need to get killed in the first 3 weeks so you won't suffer as much. Suffer as much. I'm over here dealing with all this and I don't even know who the real enemy is. A Vietnamese never called me a nigger. It wasn't the Vietnamese. It wasn't the Vietnamese who killed my brother, who hung him up by a tree. It wasn't the Vietnamese. It wasn't the Vietnamese who blew that church up and killed those 4 little black girls. And it wasn't the Vietnamese who shot Emmett Till just for looking at a white woman. And here I am, 14,000 miles away from home. killing other poor people for them. I have a wife and child at home. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to get back to them. So I'm going to stay on the perimeter right here, it's safe. Maybe I'll sleep, but the nightmares I'm having and the confusion I'm dealing with, I probably won't sleep. I just don't think I can do this for another year. I made a huge mistake coming here.
I've sat in there all day. Yeah, I have. From morning till night. And nobody paid any attention to me like I was an old fried potato under the table. Yeah. You could do that in McDonald's. Yeah. Oh. I like the young people in there. They're all smiling. They're like the young team of horses like when I was growing up. Yeah. And when I see that yellow horseshoe shape, like a part of a rainbow, inside of me gets all warm. I just love it in there. You know what I like the best? I like the plastic. Yeah. All clean. God sent plastic so that we would know that there was an everlasting. You know, it never gets scratched or faded or tarnished or broken. Not like in the world of man where everything gets ruined. God sent us plastic so we know there was an everlasting, you know? Yeah, He gave us a touch of forever. Yeah. I saw a man saved by a Big Mac. Yes, I did. I was sitting in there one day. Well, you can do that. They don't make you go away. It's a law at McDonald's. They can't make you move. No place else in the world. Well, anyway, this fella, he came in, and he was kind of jumping like this. He had, what is that thing you call it? Polly, something, you know, I don't know. And he went over, and he ordered his coffee with a lid, and then he came back, and he sat down, but while he was sitting down, he started shaking. And he fell down, and his head hit the ground with a whack, like a bowling ball. Oh, and those sweet kids, they came running over to him. One of them would put some water on his face, and the other one, boys, are you all right? Are you all right? And then here comes Jerry with his Big Mac. And he bent down, and he gave this fella a bite of that Big Mac. And you know, that fella sat straight up. And he took that Big Mac, and he got up, pulled his hat around, and walked right out the door singing. He was healed by that bite of that Big Mac, and I saw it. Yes, I did. Yes. You know, one time I asked little Paul, the night manager, if I could sleep there at nights. They don't do anything. It closes at 10 o'clock and then nothing happens till 7 in the morning. And he listened to me, and then he said that he was going to write a letter up the command. I got my bed in. Yes, I did. Oh, you think it's only a dream. Well, maybe it is my dream. Yeah. We all have dreams. You gotta have a dream. Dreams makes us what we are.